Imagine someone walking down a quiet road and then never being seen again. No clue, no trace, nothing left behind. These are the kinds of mysteries that keep people awake at night. And today we're diving into the creepiest missing people stories that no one can explain. These aren't just old legends. Many are real cases that shocked entire towns and left investigators with more questions than answers. Every year, thousands of people vanish, but only some cases stay in our minds forever because they are so strange and chilling. Stories where a person disappears in the middle of a crowded place, or where all that's left is a shoe, a phone, or a diary with strange notes inside. These are not just normal vanish, they are mysteries that feel like something out of a horror movie. One of the creepiest things about these stories is how normal they begin. Someone is walking to school, going for a short hike, driving home from work, or just stepping outside to take a phone call. In a matter of minutes, they are gone. No one saw them leave. No one heard them scream, and there is no sign of what happened. The suddenness makes these disappearances even more disturbing. Take the case of a young hiker who left her campsite to use the bathroom and never returned. Her friends thought she was taking too long, but when they searched, there was nothing, no tracks. No signs of struggle. Not even a broken branch. Search teams and helicopters scoured the area for weeks, but she was simply gone. People still wonder if something unnatural was at play. Another chilling case is of a boy who vanished while playing in his own backyard. His parents went inside for just a few minutes, and when they came back, he was nowhere to be found. No footprints, no broken fence, no evidence that he even left. How can a child vanish in such a short time with no trace at all? To this day, the family has no answers, only heartbreak. Some missing cases get even darker when strange clues are left behind, like the man who disappeared from his car, but his vehicle was still running, headlights on, and the driver's door wide open. It looked as if he had just stepped out for a moment, but he never came back. People still debate whether it was a crime, a supernatural force, or something far stranger. There are also cases where people vanish in front of others. Imagine watching someone walk ahead of you on a trail, only to turn a corner and never appear again. You run to catch up, but the path is empty. No footprints, no broken plants, nothing but silence. This has been reported more times than you'd think, and it gives us chills because it feels impossible. One of the most haunting mysteries involves people who vanish and then leave behind creepy last messages. A girl once texted her family saying, "Don't worry if you don't hear from me again," and then disappeared forever. Messages like these make the mystery even deeper. Did they know something was coming? Were they being followed? Or was it all coincidence? Even scarier are the disappearances that connect with strange lights, sounds, or weather events. Some hikers report seeing flashing lights in the sky before someone goes missing. Others say they heard strange humming noises or voices calling their name. Whether these are just stories or something real, they add another layer of fear to these mysteries. And then there are the vanishings, where a person returns but not the same. Some people have gone missing for days or weeks, only to reappear with no memory of where they were. They are found wandering aimlessly, sometimes miles away, confused and terrified. Doctors can't explain it, police can't explain it, and the missing person themselves has no idea what happened. It makes you wonder what could take someone away and bring them back without memory of the missing time. Sometimes, a missing person's story becomes even more disturbing when their belongings are found in strange places. A woman vanished while jogging, and weeks later her shoes were discovered neatly placed on top of a rock far from the trail. There was no sign of her anywhere. Search dogs lost her scent right near that spot, as if she had simply vanished into thin air. Cases like this are why so many people believe there is something far more mysterious behind these disappearances. Then there's the strange case of a hunter who went missing deep in the forest. His campsite was still intact, his rifle leaned against a tree, and food was still cooking over the fire. It looked as though he had just stepped away for a moment, but he never came back. Some believe wild animals took him, others suspect foul play, but no real evidence was ever found. His camp looked frozen in time, like a snapshot of the moment he disappeared. Airplane vanishings are also among the Imagine an experienced pilot taking off on a clear day and never landing. No wreckage, no distress call, no radar trace, just gone. Families waited for news that never came, and investigators searched for years with nothing to show. How can something as big as a plane and its passengers just disappear without a single trace? One of the most unsettling cases involves people who disappear inside their own homes. A man was last seen watching TV, and when his family returned an hour later, the front door was locked, the lights were still on, but he was gone. No sign of forced entry. No struggle. Nothing stolen. It was as if he had evaporated from his living room. Neighbors still whisper about this case, saying the house feels cursed. Then there are cases tied to water. A teenager went missing near a lake, and days later, divers found his clothes neatly folded on the shore, but no body was ever found. No one saw him swim, and no footprints led into the water. It's almost as if something lured him there. But what? To this day, people avoid that lake at night, calling it haunted. Whole groups of people have vanished too. An entire family once disappeared from their farmhouse. Dinner was still on the table, doors unlocked, and the pets unfed. Neighbors grew worried after days of silence, but by the time authorities arrived, it was as if the family had never existed. Not a single clue was ever discovered, and the house was eventually abandoned, left as a ghostly reminder of what happened. Technology has caught some strange clues and disappearances as well. In one case, a missing hiker's phone was found miles away, sitting on a tree stump, still powered on. The photos on the device showed normal pictures at first, then suddenly blurry, dark images with strange shapes and lights. The final photo was taken at 3 a.m. in complete darkness. Investigators never figured out what those photos meant or what happened to the hiker. Another disturbing mystery involves people who vanish on highways. Drivers report seeing a car pulled to the side of the road with doors open, hazard lights flashing, and no one inside. Police find IDs, wallets, and even half-drunk coffee cups in the vehicles, but the drivers are never located. Highways are supposed to be places full of traffic and people, so how do vanishings happen there with no witnesses? One of the eeriest stories is of a group of friends camping in the woods. In the morning, one of them was gone. His sleeping bag was still zipped up, his boots still by the fire, and his backpack untouched. No tracks led away from the site. The others swore they never heard him leave. It was as though the forest itself swallowed him. And sometimes, missing people are found but in places no one can explain. Like the child who disappeared in a park and was later discovered sitting calmly on top of a mountain cliff miles away. The strange part, he was too young to climb that far, and he had no injuries, no scratches, nothing. When asked what happened, he simply said, "The tall man carried me." Who was the tall man? No one knows. Some of the most haunting vanishings happen in national parks. A seasoned outdoorsman went missing on a short trail. He had hiked dozens of times before. His backpack was found neatly propped against a rock, and his map and compass were laid out beside it. Strangely, there were no footprints leading away. Search teams combed every inch of the area, but it was like he had walked into another world and never returned. There's also the bizarre mystery of a woman who disappeared during her morning routine. She was last seen leaving her driveway to head to work. Hours later, her car was found idling by the roadside, purse and keys inside, but she was gone. Witnesses said they saw her car pulled over, but no one ever saw her leave it. To this day, no evidence explains where she went or why. In another case, a college student went missing after attending a late-night party. Security cameras captured him walking toward the exit of the building, but he never appeared on any other camera outside. It was as if he had vanished in the space between one door and the next. Investigators reviewed the footage hundreds of times, but still, can T explain how someone can just disappear in front of cameras? Some cases are chilling because of the timing. A man went missing only hours before his wedding. His suit was laid out, his vows were written, and his car was parked outside, but he never showed up at the ceremony. His family searched for years, but no trace was ever found. People say the thought of him disappearing at such a life-changing moment makes the case even more heartbreaking and eerie. Another case involves a missing woman whose phone kept sending strange signals days after she disappeared. Each ping showed a new location miles away, But every time investigators arrived, there was nothing. It was as if the phone was moving on its own, leading the searchers in circles. To this day, nobody knows who had her phone or why it seemed to move without her. Sometimes, witnesses swear they see the missing person after the fact. In one town, several people reported spotting a man who had disappeared months earlier. They described him walking alone at night, looking pale and lost. But when police checked, there was no sign of him. Was it a ghost sighting? A case of mistaken identity? Or something more sinister? Then there are the strange, weather-linked vanishings. A group of hikers went missing after a sudden storm. When the skies cleared, rescuers found all their gear tents. Food, clothes, but the people were gone. The camp looked undisturbed, as though they had stepped away for only a moment. No tracks led away, no bodies were ever found, and the mystery still baffles investigators. A terrifying story comes from a man who vanished during a phone call. His friend said he suddenly yelled, "Oh no!" and the line went dead. Police traced the call and found his abandoned car on a quiet road, engine still running, phone on the seat. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, nothing, just silence. His last words remain the only clue. One of the strangest cases involves children who vanish in seconds. A mother turned to grab a snack for a child at a picnic, and when she turned back, the child was gone. The area was open and flat, so there was nowhere to hide. People nearby said they never saw anyone take the child, and no one ever found a trace. This case still haunts the community decades later. And finally, some missing people stories become legends because of how impossible they seem. A sailor went missing on his boat in calm waters. Days later, the boat was found drifting, perfectly intact, with food, supplies, and even his journal left behind. But the man himself was gone. His last journal entry simply read, "They are here." No one knows what he meant or who they were.